Hello, everybody. How you doing? Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber. Thank you for stopping by today. As we're going to listen to or talk about, I'm going to show you and talk about the vinyl albums and music CDs that I listened to this week. I hope everybody's having a nice weekend. So before we get started, though, go down there and hit that like button. And if you're watching, you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help the channel grow. Put some comments down there. Put comments about these albums, about anything in music related that you'd like to put down there, and I will get back to you. I'd love to hear from you. So anyway, we're going to get started on a hardcore punk one that I picked up and whatnot, not knowing what I was bidding on. It's a 2015 album, Freedom, by the group Refused. It is the fourth studio album by the Swedish hardcore punk band. There's a gatefold. Nice looking. Nice art. Let's see if we have an inner in this one. I don't think we did, but I want to double check. Oh, we did. We did. Okay, we got credits on one side. Then we have lyrics that appears to be in two or three different languages, which I couldn't follow if I was reading this one anyway. This is pretty small. You have to read across while you're following. I don't know. When it was released, well, this was included as number 33 on Rock Sound's Top 50 Releases of 2015 list. Rock Sounds covers music of this nature. And they got a different, kind of nice, clear vinyl with a different type of label. Tough blowing around here, so I got my overhead fan on. It's a little warm out today. A little warm in the house today. Yeah, Rock Sounds at, if I was voting for it for the top 33, it would not have got my votes. But again, I'm not a hardcore guy totally. I do like some hard rock and some heavy metal, but hardcore, and this is punk hardcore. So, replayability on my channel pretty low. Next one I listened to was actually a mistake, and I listened to this album before and I had forgot, but when I pulled it out I remembered what had happened to it. This is the 1982 album, the John Lennon Collection. It was released after, first compilation released after his death. The album includes most of Lennon's hit signals and other tracks from his solo albums recorded with EMI in 1970 to 75. Good stuff. What had happened is, the first time I played it, it was a little bit pretty good, but poppy, and so I says I'm going to put it through the spin clean again, and I did put it through the spin clean. But I got it almost up to a VG plus. There's a little poppiness in between the songs, but not during any of the songs. So that was an improvement. Nice collection. What do we got here? Instant Karma, Power to the People, Whatever Gets You, Dream, Mind Games, Love, Imagine, Jealous Guy. Lots of good songs on here. This is in really, really good shape. Unfortunately, somebody wrote on it, and somebody wrote $2.95 has a $5 sticker on it. Who knows? I have done some things later I'll show you in the past that I thought was cool. So find out nowadays it's not cool. I'll show you the label again on Geffen Records. Picked this up in Whatnot. It's in good shape. Probably some of this poppin' that I have still remains I could get rid of if I had one of them guns, static guns, or if I had a ultrasonic cleaner. But I still haven't decided whether it's worth it or not, for me anyway, for my collections. So that was the John Lennon collection from 1982. Good stuff. All right, where are we going next? We're going to another one I got from Esky and whatnot. And this was part of a collection she bought. And any from this guy that wants to become an artist, and so she put his artwork in she made the artwork up, got it approved by him, and she puts it in every album by him that she sells. Pretty nice remembrance. Okay, then this one is this is a 2015 reissue of 1990 release of Shake Your Moneymaker by the Black Crowes. This is in really, really good shape. I have 2 LPs, 3 CDs, and 2 cassettes in my collection. The CD is with the Jimmy Page Live, the Black Crowes and Jimmy Page. It does have an inner. The album is named after a classic blues song written by Elmore James. The Black Crowes have played the song many, many times over, but it's not included on this album. Shake Your Moneymaker peaked at number 4 in Billboard's Top 200. And 2 of its singles, Hard to Handle and She Talks Like Two Angels, reached number 1 on mainstream tracks. Jealous Again and Twice as Hard and Seeing Things were also charted singles in the U.S. Shake Your Moneymaker is the Black Crowes' best-selling album, having sold more than 5 million copies. This was a very good album. I really enjoyed this. This was good old rock and roll. And let me get to it. We get to this. You can tell this is remastered because this is heavy. This could be 200 gram vinyl. As heavy as it feels. Got to get these things from blowing around here. Okay. As you can see by looking at it, no scratches. This guy had this in his collection, kept good condition. I've got another one from him too, but I don't remember which one it is or where exactly it is right now, or did I already listen to it? But I got a lot of things that I haven't listened to yet or put into the collection. So, Shake Your Moneymaker by the Black Crowes, 2015 reissue of the 1990 album, is played and in the collection. Do you ever think of why you buy albums? Sometimes I do, and I really don't know. I like to have a great variety in my collections. But what about you? How do you go about approaching what you want to buy? All right, now the next one we got going here. This was a 2024 reissue of a 1992 album by Pete Townshend. And the album is All the Best Cowboys Have Chinese Eyes. It's the 4th studio album, solo album by Pete. And it peaked at number 32 on the UK Albums Chart and number 26 on the US Billboard 200. I always liked Pete Townshend's work, even aside from the Who, his solo work and Empty Glass. And I got a couple of his there. This is an Obi that's with it. Somebody asked me, what does an Obi mean? I think it's a Japanese word, and I think it means belt. I have to look it up again, though. Should have looked it up before I did this one. Okay. There's the tracks on it. I have 4 LPs and 4 CDs in the collection by him, solo work. So, must mean I like him. think I already showed you, but it is a. Although it's not classified as a concept album, the inner cover story is a story over here that somewhat follows the lyrics. There were follow-up concert videos released in 1982 on MTV. So, I guess you could call it a concept album. I liked it. I followed along with it. Nice story. But I really like, what really sold me this was his arrangements and the softness of his music and the way it went from one song to another. Very well put together. Then we got an inner in here with lyrics. Credits on this side. And apparently this was was written about like Clint Eastwood, some Western cowboy people. It was brand new. I saw it, wanted to pick it up because I like Pete's work. I think my favorite by him is Empty Glass. But this was a good job. This was very nice put together album. So this was the 2024 reissue of the 1992 album. All the best cowboys have Chinese eyes by Pete Townsend. Well, we're getting to that point of the time of the week where it was let's talk about some CDs that we listened to. Get my first one up here. We're at number 120. And this is the 1991 album Shades of Two Worlds by the Allman Brothers. I have 4 LPs and 1 CD in the collection. This was the 10th studio album by the Allman Brothers. Really, really good in rock. So we got some extended tracks on here. The instrumental track, Kind of a Bird, was nominated for the Grammy Award for the Best Rock Instrumental Performance at the 34th Annual Grammys '92, but it did not win. And this charted in the top 10 3 countries. Good fan of the Allman Brothers. One that I got my son last Christmas. I don't know when. The live album that rates very high that I still don't have in my collection, but I'll get there. Table. So if you like rock and you like rock and roll and you like blues, check this out on your streaming channels. This is a good one. 1991 album by the Allman Brothers called The Shades of Two Worlds. Good stuff. Number 121. This was another 1991 album. And this is by Richie Sambora. And this one is called Stranger in This Town. It's the only solo thing I have in the collection, and it was the first solo studio album by Sambora. Richie, much well known for his work with the group Bon Jovi, which I have a ton of in my collection. This album charted number 36 on the Billboard 200, number 20 on the UK Albums Chart. Sometimes I wonder when this is solo album, this is his first one. This was the high ranking in the sales, probably predicated on work he's done with Bon Jovi. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but not totally everything. I like the guitar work on this album. I wasn't a big fan of one thing in the album. I liked it. Overall, it was good. But one thing I didn't like, it seemed to me that the vocals were recorded too low. There were some times when I had to really struggle to hear the vocals over the music. I never liked that when that happens. So I said good. I know I'm going to say it was a fair plus because of this. No, I'll say good. I won't rate it as good plus or excellent. So this was Stranger in This Town in 1991. Solo debut album by Richie Sambora. For Bon Jovi, a Sambora fan, you don't have this one, check it out on your streaming service. Oh, doing some good stuff this week. Listening to, we got one more to go. Always the last one of the week, and that comes from the collection. Working our way up the collection, I think we're at number 74. When I years ago, I was filing like with the CDs. You probably saw. See it here. This is ABBA, the album by ABBA from 1977. As you can see up here, a sticker with a number on it. I used to put them in my database. Little did I know that little things like that and like this. I'll show you. 2 marks that I got on there. That was to me to tell me that I had recorded those 2 songs on my reel-to-reel as one of the reel-to-reels. Little did I know back then that you shouldn't be doing that to if you really wanted to keep the value of your overall album up. This didn't get. I have to check what I did with it. Probably should drop it down to at least VG. But anyway, this is the album. I have 2 LPs in my collection by ABBA. It was the 5th studio album by the Swedish pop group. The album reached number 1 in many territories in the UK, and it debuted at the top and remained there for 7 weeks, ending up as the 3rd biggest selling album of the year, behind the movie soundtrack LPs of Saturday Night Fever and Grease. US, it became their highest charting album at number 14. It also charted in 7 other countries. Side A, great hits. I mean, I really enjoyed Side A. Side B was like moderate, okay? But and the first side, Eagle, Take a Chance on Me, One Man, One Woman, The Name of the Game. Great songs. I remember that so well. Then on the second side, there's a little bit about that came up in some sort of a video in that. Kind of emphasize the guys in the band a little bit, the first 2 songs. Did have an inner, we still have it. It's got a little bit of a tear going. Keep on the inside of this or not, I'll keep it from tearing anymore. Definitely check the grading on it. I can check the grading on it right now, what I gave it. Let's see what I gave it. Okay, the media condition is VG plus and the sleeve condition is VG. We're going to change, or VG plus, we're changing that to, I wanted to change it just to VG because of the markings I put on the cover and because of this error. All right, and then on the Atlantic, red and green Atlantic album. Went to Vegas. Daughter and 2 of the kids that were in my cast that I see. Yeah, but whatever the name of the Broadway musical was, it ABBA? I don't remember. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So anyway, let's be talking about which ones I like the best this week. You had to pick, which ones would you have picked? Okay. Oh, the first one I picked was Shake Your Moneymaker by the Black Crowes. I just really, really like that rock and roll they did. Debut by the rock band. Second one I picked was Shades of Two Worlds by the Allman Brothers. Oh, that was really, really good. Really, really good songs. Well, it looks like I was really leaning to rock and roll and blues this week. So anyway, I thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to put some comments down there. SoCal Saber saying, take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other and